Priyanka Chigurupati, who's the Executive Director at Granules India Limited, joining us this morning. Priyanka, let me first start off with the golden question, right? 70% of your revenue comes from North America. What's the impact? Talk to us. Are you going to set up something there? How do you look at the developments overnight?
Good morning.
Very good morning.
Yes, we had some news over the last night. I just want to preface the conversation by saying one thing. Within the generics context, about 90% of the US prescriptions are generics that come from India, but that only translates to about 13% of the value. So when you hit generics, the benefit that the US is getting is very minimal, to say the least. But from our perspective, we have 3 facilities in the US already, 1 manufacturing facility, 1 packaging facility, and 1 for warehouse and distribution. And our manufacturing facility is well equipped to deal with any tech transfers that we might have to do if we choose to do so. So we're well protected on that front.
How quickly can that ramp up if it were to happen? How much of the 70% to North America is US, if you can give us a perspective? How much of that is manufactured domestically in the US?
70% of North America is the US. Very little percentage comes from Canada. But overall, if you look at it, about 40% of the overall revenues comes from the US manufactured products.
So it's just the 30% that you have to factor in if this has to go through?
Well, 30% has to be factored in if you look at the numbers, but let's look at the reality, right? These are volume products. We have a period of about 2 years. And for tech transfers to happen, for approvals, it's going to take a long time. So I think, if I may say so, the US will take a deeper look at the generics like they have in the past when they issued the 200, 400% tariffs in the recent past and then kind of redeemed them to a very large extent. So I think we'll have to see how it's implemented.
Give us a sense of the cost differential or arbitrage which is there. If you happen to shift there, your cost is going to increase. That's an assumption. Have you done an analysis of what kind of impact that may have for Indian drug makers who shift their production to the US for the purpose of meeting that guideline of getting exemption from the 100% tariff?
Yes, so it depends on the kind of products. I'll speak for Granules because different kinds of Indian pharma companies have different products. For pure play generics and the kind of products that we do, it could vary anywhere between 20% to 60 to 70%, the cost differential alone. So we have done that. And that's why I'm saying that considering the cost savings, the cost increases and the economics around it that the US will have to face, I'm not very sure that this will be implemented as strongly as it's being said so right now.
Priyanka, let's move to your earnings. FY27 revenue growth trajectory maintained at the current 22% for you. Does that make the full year guidance conservative? What's the upside trigger for this?
The upside trigger for this would be our new launches. We're expecting the FDA to come in anytime now and post their, hopefully an approval, which we're very positive about. We expect close to 9 launches to be coming in just from the Gagillapur facility. And if you look at the overall value of the products that are linked to the facility, it's about, with some brand value, involves about $11 billion US dollars. So there is a significant upside, most of which we'll start seeing from maybe Q3, Q4, if everything goes well. And the better half of it will come in FY28. But despite that, we have about 2 to 3 products that we're launching later half of this year to next year from the US in itself, where there's absolutely no issues. We received the EIR from the FDA already.
You have earmarked around 600 crores for capex in FY27. Does that change now that you have this new US equation coming into play?
See, we're always extremely careful with our capital allocation. Where we have to invest, where we absolutely have to invest, we will. But if there's an opportunity to defer a capex requirement based on internal accruals or any other changes due to geopolitical situations, we will adjust accordingly.
Understood. Priyanka, I know dominant part of the conversation has been about US, but let me firmly switch to earnings. So you've done well, right? FY26 has been a good year. FY27, you've started off on the front foot. give us a sense, is this a multi-year kind of a trend, FY27, 28? You spoke about how FY28 will be a kicker as well. 20% plus growth maybe for the next 2 to 3 years. Is that something one can pencil in? All right, we've just about lost the feed with Priyanka. We'll get her straight back and give you a perspective as to what to expect. Okay, Priyanka, I'm not sure if you caught my question. Is this multi-year in terms of the growth? Maybe next couple of years, 2 to 3 years, 20% plus. Is that something one can pencil in from you, given the new launch pipeline?
Yes, absolutely, because we have a lot of complex generics that are being approved. So going forward, you'll see a big upward momentum in the numbers.
Percent odd in terms of 22 to 23%. Will that be the margin band you will continue to operate in? Any risks to that at all?
See, there's always geopolitical risks that might play out. I always say that there's always an FDA risk, there's always regulatory agencies risk, but we're actually, since the last 2 years, we've put in a lot of remediation activities within the Gagillapur site, which is the biggest site, but we also have those products now diversified into another facility, which we didn't have earlier. That site has been approved by the US FDA, it's been approved by various regulatory agencies, and also we have growth coming in from other geographies as well. So it's well protected right now.
And oncology, does that add significant uptick to your existing revenue? And how meaningful would that be? If you can just give us a perspective, year 1, year 2, broadly.
So today it doesn't contribute too much. It's a minimum contribution, but earlier it was all CMO-based business, but from FY28 to FY29 is when you'll see our own products being approved. Our first product will be approved in that time frame and in the US, but also across, we've done about 14 to 16 filings of the same product in different regions. So you'll start seeing the oncology portfolio commercialized from that period, and from then onwards, you'll see an upswing, because right now we have about 9 to 13 products under different phases of development within the oncology range.
Give us a sense of the runway
oncology range, if I may, actually, my apologies, if I may interrupt. Outside of just the oncology range, we have our other complex products. You've seen the news about our 2 sole first to files very recently. So that's actually changing the trajectory of Granules in a very positive way, and you'll see much more of that going forward. So that's what's to expect from Granules.
Yes, I was about to ask you about the complex generics pathway that you have, or the runway that you have for that. It's now accounting for 50% of the formulations portfolio. What kind of additional margins that this can bring into your, to your P&L going forward, and what kind of portfolio mix, how the portfolio mix will change going forward?
So I just want to clarify one thing. We divided our portfolio into integrated, complex, and others. Within the integrated, there's Legacy 5, and there's also other integrated products. Those integrated products right now, as we speak, there's about nine products that are IP-based that are going to go off patent within the next couple of years. Those will also contribute significantly to the margin profile. So while complex generics, yes, we have sold first to files, those are going to contribute meaningfully. The whole portfolio that we have right now is extremely robust, and we're going to see an upswing in the margin profile going forward.
Priyanka, thank you so much for coming in and giving us that perspective, both short-term as well as long-term, with regard to Granules India. Let me, though, go across. Thank you.